brother. It's time for another episode of Birds with Friends. Just the
duo
of feathery weather in any season to see the Eagles eating teams like Scrammy's top with cheese. It's Philadelphia. Wulf and Zach kicking it cooler than
two.
When still Zach runs off with his valet keys. He's a real nuanced goose. Pull up a branch, get loose. It's time for some juice on some Birds with Friends. The early bird gets the worm, but prefers getting turned like a turn on some Birds with Friends. Wulf and Zach coming at you with stats and things flapping their wings on.
How do you have time to consume all this content? You're listening to Dave Spadaro interviews?
I take a morning bike ride and I listen to
I want to hear more about that, but go ahead.
No, the Schuylkill Trail.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first post-game pod of the 2022 Eagles season. Wulf, Zach Berman, live from the Spanish radio booth.
Do you know Spanish?
Un poquito.
Sí, señor.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, and really, I think we should start, Zach, with, one of the worst red zone performances you can imagine. Chris Streveler hitting.
That's what we're starting with.
C. Jackson for a 5-yard touchdown pass with 16 seconds left to give the Jets a 24-21 victory. Just when you thought that this Eagles team was excited for a big year, you know, they go and do something like this and totally blow it. It's got to be a bad omen for what's to come.
I didn't know anything happened after the first drive, right? No, I'm kidding. Thanks for selling it. Yeah, I mean, I have to honestly go back tomorrow and watch what happened in that second half. I was writing and looking up. I saw the 16-play drive that the Eagles had. I saw that they couldn't stop
18 plays.
18 play. They couldn't drop Streveler. But to me, where we have to start is the Eagles quarterback and to an extent the Jets quarterback.
Which one would you like to start with?
Let's start with Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
I mean, you're the host.
You're the one who's dictating play. I mean,
I think if we're
it's weird. We got to get used to this. Yes. We're not in the same room that often anymore for the podcast. Yeah. We got to get used to this. It's a different dynamic. If we're
starting with Chris Streveler, that's fairly esoteric, wouldn't you say?
Inverted pyramid start at the end. You know, it was a game-winning touchdown pass. You don't think that was important?
I mean, that's important. I saw it. Left corner.
Do you know C. Jackson's first name?
No.
Well, we'll never know.
we will. I have the flip card.
Charles.
Right here.
Connie.
It's not a Charles nor Connie.
Christopher.
Left the flip card in there.
Kobe.
I was not prepared to start like
Cleo.
This. As we were waiting, I was going through all these different thoughts about Jalen Hurts, about the first drive, about
Corey.
the hit over there, about what happened to Zach Wilson.
Cortez.
I was not thinking about that. But I will
Cynthia.
tell you, I don't believe it's Cynthia. But
Charisse.
To end this exercise, let me look this up for you. Okay. Actually, I don't have Wi-Fi, so
I guess we'll never know. Chaka.
Chaka, there you go.
Okay. All right. Well, yes. The Eagles' first-team offense, Nick Sirianni said before the game they were going to play 1-2 series, and they pretty much made it easy in terms of his decision. Jalen Hurts goes 6 for 6 for, I believe, 80 yards, a touchdown drive on the opening drive, and that was it. And I thought they looked good. He's playing behind an offensive line without 2 of its starters because Landon Dickerson did not play tonight with a sore foot. That meant Sua Opeta started at left guard. And obviously Cam Jurgens was starting at center for Jason Kelsey. First play of the game, Sua lets a guy through, and Jalen is flushed to his right. Hits Quez Watkins for 28 yards, a very nice throw, I thought. And then caps off the drive with a touchdown pass to Dallas Goedert after he had run in for a touchdown that was called back by a Jordan Mailata hold. But really the big thing that happened was a few plays earlier, he's running out of bounds. And I would say, short of Dunta Robinson, one of the dirtiest hits I've ever seen live.
Good callback there.
Quincy Williams, Jalen Hurts in the first preseason game very clearly already out of bounds. And it's not just that he hits him out of bounds. He's throwing a helmet spearing basically. And, Nick Sirianni gets livid. Jordan Mailata goes over there. But I thought this was he should have been ejected. I mean, this is a preseason game. What are you doing?
Well, certainly it was an egregious hit, right? It was indefensible. And, I mean, it was also a defenseless player there. Jalen kind of brushed it off after the game, said he'll let us make a big deal about it. He got up, played the next play.
He did a little
Yeah, he said that
the dirt off his shoulder.
He gave a little, that's Philly. They have our back. His teammates have his back.
It's the thing about this city, man.
It was potentially problematic for the Eagles, right? And I mean,
I think it was not. I think it was not unironic that they're headshotting a guy on the sidelines, and then it turns out that their quarterback is the one who gets injured. But
I mean, I we'll see what happened to Zach Wilson tomorrow. I saw the Athletics' Jeff Howe report that the ACL was intact. But yeah, I mean, look, I wrote this. We had quick takeaways that came up after the game, and you go into a preseason game and the objective is to come out with your top players healthy, right? Like that's
the only thing that matters.
It's the old cliche. And in particular, your quarterback, like the worst nightmare for a team is I was going to say what happened to Trent Green, but then Kurt Warner steps in.
Yeah, that actually worked out pretty well.
But that's what you don't want, right? And the Jets are dealing with it. But when Hurts got hit, that could have been a lot of different things, right? So the Eagles were fortunate there.
Could have been decapitated.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about decapitated.
You said a lot of different things.
But it certainly was. I think it speaks to. It becomes almost like cliche or Pollyanna-ish to talk about how well regarded he is by teammates, but it's very clear his teammates have his back. His coach has his back. Nick talked after the game. He spends more time with Jalen than any player. Hearing
as he should,
hearing his teammates talk about him. I think there's a genuine affection for Jalen, number one, but also I think they noticed the way Jalen responds to that too. He popped right back up. It's like, don't let them see you bleed, right? And it kind of reminds me last year of, to a certain extent. Remember after the Tampa Bay game when the season was over, that's when he comes out with the boot, right? Yeah. It's like he would not let anyone see him hurt before then. I think he made a point there to pop right back up. In any event, Eagles were fortunate that he was not injured. And my big takeaway from that first drive, obviously you talked about the efficiency, 6 for 6, perfect passer rating, can't get better than that. But it wasn't A.J. Brown centric.
Yeah.
And throughout the summer, we've seen it, A.J. Brown.
Not a single target.
Yeah. And so, seeing Dallas Goedert, who I think is going to have a big year in the middle of the field there. You talked about the big play by Quez Watkins. There's a handful of different things you can do. Miles Sanders with the catch. So I think that it shows you kind of the diversity of the offense as opposed to simply just pound it to AJ.
Did you think they were going to do the callback to T.O., do play action deep to A.J. Brown in the first play?
I did, actually. I thought something of that nature.
I thought they would too. Yeah. A
Although,
little disappointing.
So
maybe that was the play call, though. He was flushed.
So T.O.'s was 81 yards, right? A.J.'s could have just been 11 yards and, just a quick play action, 11-yard strike. Yeah.
I thought this was fascinating, Zach.
Let's hear.
Reed Sinnett, 81 yards passing in this game. Gardner Minshew, 81 yards passing in this game. Jalen Hurts, 80 yards passing in this game. How fascinating.
Fascinating. Yes. Yeah. Evenly distributed. We did not see Carson Strong. Were you surprised by that?
I thought that, I was a little surprised he didn't play in the fourth quarter, but he's going to get plenty of time. But I think it also tells you that they think that he stinks.
Okay. I can see that.
I mean, right? Let's be fair.
A rough beginning for Reed Sinnett, but bounce back after that.
Mm-hmm. Is he on your son Reed's radar yet, or have you?
No, we're gonna get there. We're gonna
after
get there.
tonight. He's proven enough that
no,
he's
it's my son's. I mean, I don't think we need to get into this. His last day at camp was today, so
you didn't want to overload him with Reed information when he still had camp.
No, there's just been the schedule becomes a little different for these next 3 weeks before school. In any event, talking about the Eagles tonight, I thought, well, I'll let you host. Do you want to get to the defense?
Go
or
ahead,
should we stick? I thought that you saw some good things from the first team defense. You saw
they also played one series, got their business done.
Yeah, Kaiser White, obviously. Kaiser White had the interception.
Not everybody watched the game, potentially. Okay. Tell them what happened.
Kaiser White, who, look, what he does well is pass coverage, in particular zone coverage. I think he read the quarterback, undercut the pass. It was to Corey Davis. It was at the 47-yard line, had a 27-yard return to the 20. The Eagles score after that. I think Kaiser White has had a good summer for the Eagles. And I also wrote this, that they have a dubious history of linebacker signings, right? So you're always a little skeptical, especially you get a 26-year-old for $3 million.
I'm still skeptical.
The Chargers let him go. You're like, all right, what's the catch here, right? Similar, we saw it with Eric Wilson last year.
It was a week into free agency.
Yes.
The team that let him go knows him the best, and they were loading up on defense. There's got to be a reason.
Exactly. That said, if you kind of take that context away, I think he's been good this summer. Stepped up with a big play tonight, and
against a bad quarterback, to be fair.
Against a bad quarterback, Zach Wilson. Yeah. Okay. I mean, he's still a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Well, only because he was drafted high.
I think Zach Wilson's probably comparable to the
Carson Strong.
No, I think he's the median quarterback that they'll face this year. Do you disagree?
I got to think about the schedule, but I would guess that he's a little bit sub-median.
Okay, so week 1 they have Jared Goff. I guess Goff's better. Goff started in the Super Bowl.
I don't know. Goff's pretty bad.
Week 2 they have Kirk Cousins.
Enough of this Lions gassing up. Yeah. People watch that Hard Knocks and were impressed with that coaching staff. What's going on?
It was good hearing Deuce again.
I thought it was kind of weird that the whole
Deuce, Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, each other. Pay attention to practice. What are we doing?
Yeah, compete.
That's how you win 3.5 games.
What's the half? Oh,
that's what their record was last year. 3-13-1.
Yes. Okay.
Jared Goff.
Yeah. Jared Goff. They have Kirk Cousins week 2, right?
Okay.
That's
better than Zach Wilson.
That's the next time we're here. It's a long time. Then they have Carson Wentz week 3.
Okay, he's
right?
worse than Zach Wilson.
Is that the week 3 game down in Washington?
Yes.
Yeah.
Arizona.
Then week 4, Kyler.
All right, we don't have to go through the whole thing.
Yes. Actually, no. Week 4 is Trevor Lawrence. Then week 5 is Arizona. Any event, we have enough time. Well, there's 2 weeks between the last preseason game and the regular season begins, where we can do all the season.
This is the only preseason game we're going to get to see live. We're not going to the away games. We're going to the joint practices.
Yeah.
But then we're going to be watching on TV. I think we might do a live watch along.
We have this a sensitive subject for me. So,
like Roman or
no, not being at the preseason. I mean, I don't have to air it out here. Yeah. I'm not used to missing games.
Yikes.
So yeah. But no, I'm looking. If you look at what you saw tonight from the first teamers, my guess is this is probably the last that we see of this group. It would surprise me if you see much of them, given that the Eagles have joint practices these next 2 weeks.
I would be shocked, I think.
So I like what I've seen from this offense tonight. Haven't loved it this summer, but you're going to get more A.J. Brown. You add Devontae Smith.
You've been killing the offense.
Have I been killing them? I haven't.
They've been fine.
I mean, look, you don't have parades with fine offenses. You have parades with great offenses.
Listen, around the league, everybody's talking about their defenses ahead of the offense.
Is Denver?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not.
You have more Denver coverage.
Okay, I guess I do. You're the one who's saying, they're going up against the greatest cornerback of all time every day in practice, James Bradbury. So you got to give him some credit.
I saw you and James speaking tonight. I was actually kind of jealous. I was. Yeah.
I've got a Wolfston idea for James Bradbury. I'm excited about what come the regular season.
Oh, I can't wait for the Wolfston. Yeah, it's. Did it feel good to be back in the locker room? We should tell our listeners we were back in there
for the first time since the Eagles lost in the playoffs to the Seattle Seahawks, the Josh McCown, Carson Wentz, Jadeveon Clowney game. That's the last time we've been in a post-game locker room until tonight.
That was a good game for me.
How about that? You won an award? Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
You won an award.
That was a pompous comment. I'm sorry. But no, it was good to be in there. It was good to see. You know how to work a locker room, right? You're going.
I was a little bit gun shy the second I got in there. It's been you need a little adjustment time.
So the challenge for me is that usually you want to like introduce yourself to these players first before you. And so like someone like Gardner Minshew, I've never actually met him other than Zoom podium. And
well, you stayed in his van, right?
No, I asked him about the van
peyote
tonight. But I didn't. If you introduce yourself after a game, that's hard. That's not the time.
That's
place,
true.
Right.
That's true.
So you just knock out the interview and then you hope over time.
That's for a mustache ride.
A mustache ride? I don't know what that means, but that doesn't sound very.
Okay.
Yes. We should get back to the game though.
I thought we were talking about the locker room.
Okay. Yeah, talking about the locker room. What jumped out to you in the post-game locker room? Give our listeners, our viewers, a scene. Set the scene of.
Well, the post-game locker room for a preseason game, you've got split lockers. You've got, they've got more lockers than players. So you've got your, Renell Wren and Marlon Tuipulotu split in lockers, and that's a lot. That's a lot of man for one locker. They weren't stuffed in there at the same time, but no, it was good. It was good. It's an expansive locker room. See the guys. I don't know.
Who's your best person to talk to?
I enjoyed talking to Marcus Epps.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Best safety on the team.
That's for sure. I know that's right. We'll see.
KTR means I know that's right.
Yes. That's right.
I enjoyed talking to Jordan Mailata about his defense of Jalen Hurts. Said he can't tell me what he said. Called the Guardian helmets fake news.
Oh, about the concussion?
Yes.
What did he say? He thinks they don't do anything?
Yeah, he said, sorry, NFL, they don't do anything. That's what he said. I was like, are you surprised?
You think he's going to get fined for that?
I doubt it. He was just being honest. I asked him what his week was like. He said he basically went from like being cleared to playing in 2 days. He's like, there's not much of a ramp-up period.
They needed to protect Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. So I can't hear what Marissa said. I see the comment.
Marissa's not saying anything.
Okay.
She's just in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. You're not missing anything.
Yeah. So to set the scene in here for our viewers and our listeners, we're using one computer. As you can see, we're on the same screen, one mic. But Bo has the headphones in or earphones in. So Bo can chat with Marissa between breaks before. And
what's that, Marissa? You don't like Zach? Okay. You want him to leave? Oh yeah, Marissa said she doesn't like you.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm very fond of Marissa. She's an outstanding producer
she said,
friend. Yes.
She thought the Josh McCown game story you won an award for was hacky. She says
hacky.
She said lots of cliches.
There was,
and she said there 2, 3, 4 typos. She said.
Now those are fighting words, right? So
she says I'm not saying.
I see that.
She did say that the story was bad though. All right. Let's get to what else happened. So after that first drive for the offense, Sirianni, as expected, pulled the starters. There were a few guys who stayed in. Quez Watkins, Jalen Reagor, who played with the ones because Devontae Smith is out. Cam Jurgens stayed in the game, and Sua Opeta stayed in the game. I think the number 2 takeaway from this game, aside from the first team offense, first team defense, was that Cam Jurgens, Jordan Davis, and maybe to a slightly lesser extent, Nakobe Dean looked the part. It's early returns. It's one game. General managers were texting Howie Roseman about how good J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was in his first preseason. But especially Davis and Jurgens, I thought, really looked the part. Davis was eating up double teams, and he was playing against the Jets starters. The Jets had not pulled their starters yet. He was opening things up for other guys. You saw the power that we have seen and has been talked about. I thought those were the most exciting things for the Eagles, aside from the first team offense looking good and staying healthy.
So I did not have my binoculars on the offensive line. I did have them on I was watching Jordan Davis closely. Every
Were you
snap.
hoping that he was going to point to you and say good story?
No, I was not hoping.
Marissa,
that.
don't talk about his story like that. It just went up. You know his feelings.
So I would say that I watched every snap that Jordan Davis took and was so impressed. Right? I mean, you hear the expression that he said, 2 on me, someone's free.
Yep.
The amount of times that he had 4 arms on him, he was being double teamed. And then even when he was single teamed, he was pushing back. He was getting to the backfield. On the play, Zach Wilson was injured. Jordan Davis was chasing him. Right? I mean, that he looked good chasing him. He kind of backed off there. I mean, if he jumped on Zach Wilson there, that could have been bad. But I thought that he was disruptive. He commanded attention. He was everything the Eagles could have wanted and more. And by the way, he was not just a nose tackle, right? He was lining up different ways. You look, for instance, when Kaiser White had the interception. That was your 4-2 nickel, right? And he wasn't lined up over the center there. But then there was times when he was the nose tackle and he was lined up over the center. He's really good. And I think that as the year goes on, there's going to be more and more stories and questions like, how did this guy fall to number 12, right? Because I think he is going to disrupt the game and change the game. And the Eagles are lucky that he's on their team. Exactly.
Now, is it a good question from the chat here? Is it Jordan Davis or Davis Jordan?
It is Jordan Davis.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you happy with the story? I thought it was very good.
Nice of you to say. Yeah, I mean, I
thought you got it all covered.
I was happy enough with it, right? Like, I have to remind myself, and it's not the last time we're going to be writing about Jordan Davis, so I don't have to get everything in there. And you know how it is because you're outstanding at this, that you always think there's another call I can make, another voice I can get. I can flesh this part out. But it's also the point that, if you keep sitting on something, all of a sudden it's week 3.
It becomes
and
a monster, yeah.
Yeah, so
been there.
Yeah, I thought it was a good story to have before his first preseason game. I think obviously the hit on Jalen Hurts and the offense is going to be the big story. But I think when that kind of fades a bit, Jordan Davis, his debut is going to be remembered from tonight.
You think people are going to remember preseason game?
Yeah.
I think that's maybe overstating it.
Well, I think there are a lot of people who tonight.
Can you tell me one thing that happened in the preseason last year?
I can tell you a lot of things that happened in the preseason last year.
Tell me 2 things.
Like in the whole preseason?
Yes.
Okay. Jalen Hurts before the Patriots game went to the hospital.
Okay. Didn't happen in the game.
Okay. In the game, they opened the preseason against the Steelers on this field. I think Joe Flacco had an 81-yard pass to Quez Watkins. Is that right?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wow. That's disgusting that you remember that.
We were here. I remember something from every game I've attended.
Even preseason games?
Even preseason
Those
games
do not deserve a spot in your
preseason.
memory. You need to use that to know who BB King is.
Well, the problem is that some of these preseason games you're writing in the second half, and you're not kind of watching that as closely. Well, I shouldn't say you. I am not.
I remember the preseason game last year was it last year when you gave me your socks because it was raining so hard and I was soaking?
Yes.
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
That was last year in New York.
I've never been so wet in my life. Thank you for the socks.
My pleasure. You still have those?
Do I?
Yeah.
I don't know which ones they are.
They're probably the ones that are smallest on you.
I mean, small socks are fine.
So let's see what else jumped out tonight. What'd you think of Nakobe Dean? We talked about the first 2 picks. What'd you think of Nakobe?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was fine. He made a couple nice plays. He made that one play in the backfield when Jordan Davis had sort of created the pressure and knifed through an attempted double team. He missed a tackle in the open field along the right sideline.
He was calling the defense.
He does look small out there.
Like short.
For a linebacker.
Yeah. Like frail, you think? He doesn't look frail to me.
Frail, but he looks like a safety.
Interesting. I don't get that impression. But he looks almost like Tolick-ish. Like more compact than...
I guess.
Yeah.
He seems. I mean, he is.
I mean,
he's slight.
Look, he's
build
not
for a linebacker.
He's not Darius. He's not Darius Leonard, right? So
Shaq Leonard.
Shaq Leonard.
That's his name.
Okay.
Shaquille Leonard. He doesn't want to go by Darius anymore.
Oh, he changed it. Did he? Okay.
You don't read Indianapolis coverage?
I do. Zach,
too focused on Denver?
No, Zach Kiefer had a
It's a big deal.
Zach Kiefer had a great story this week on, he was, what's his name? Rick Vinatieri? Or Rick Venteri?
No, he wants to go by Penny. You don't know the Shaq Leonard thing? You missed this?
I missed that, yes.
I can't believe that.
London Fletcher, I see that in the that's a good one. That's a
London
good one.
Fletcher was a little beefier than the Kobe
London
Dean,
Fletcher
though.
has a great story of that he had to lie on his media guide in college. He was at John Fletcher, and
no London Fletcher.
I'm sorry, he was at John Carroll, right? Is that where he was? He was at John Carroll, and he had to put the wrong height. He had to say he was 6 foot because they wouldn't look at like a 5'10" or 5'8" corner. Oh, I'm sorry, linebacker or something of that nature.
Sorry, I'm tweeting our story link.
Thank you. So I'll fill this up a little bit more. I was paying attention to the fronts. The Eagles mostly had kind of your 3-man front with an overhang, right? So what you can call that, like 4-0, 4-3 under, right? Like there's a lot of different ways of putting it. But they had the overhang player there as the fourth guy. They had some 4-man fronts. They had some traditional 3-man fronts. But they had more odd man fronts than I recalled last year. Maybe it was a little different in the preseason. I don't recall that as vividly, but toward the middle of last year, they kind of veered away from playing that way. And obviously when you have Jordan Davis, you can play that well. You talked about depth chart notes on offense, depth chart notes on defense. We should point out Milton Williams started. Javon Hargrave, you're not going to see him this summer. He's dealing with a toe injury, I believe it is. And toe strain, and they just want to get him to week 1. So you're not going to see him in the preseason. I don't know how much we're going to see him in practice.
Okay. I mean, we might see him
practicing.
Okay, fair.
I thought I didn't have much on the secondary tonight.
If we're doing just, minor depth chart notes, Josh Jobe got to work as the number 2 corner opposite Zach McPherson. I thought that was interesting.
And I thought that was merited.
Yeah, he's been very good the last week. But Tay Gowan and Mac McCain were the 3rd team corners, that meant. And I don't think that we even saw Mario Goodrich at all. So Ross Blackwell made a nice play from the slot at one point.
Josh Blackwell.
What did I say?
Ross.
Is there a Ross Blackwell? Is that somebody?
Not that I'm familiar with. Maybe he went to Wake Forest or Rye Country Day.
Why do I? Anyway.
Did you go to college with a lot of Rosses?
I can think of one Ross, and then one of my roommates' last name was Ross. Is it Stephen Ross or is it Ross Stephen?
Stephen Ross is the owner of the
same guy with the same name. Yeah, and this guy did not do any colluding.
I spent a lot of time listening to a Ross tonight.
Ross Tucker.
Ross Tucker. I had the play-by-play in my ear.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of Rosses?
I would have to think about that. Certainly not.
Did you like Ross from Friends?
He wasn't my favorite character.
Who was your favorite character
on Friends?
You were probably an Aniston guy.
Well, yeah, I mean that age, who wasn't, right? But I liked them all. I liked. I don't know. We don't have to get into this. But
okay.
Yeah.
I thought Job was interesting. That would probably be my most interesting minor depth chart note. I think you might be interested, Zach, in knowing if it did indeed end up doing this. Yes. And knowing who led the Eagles in tackles tonight.
So we should give context for our viewers and listeners.
Oh, yes.
Bo and I had bet before the game. Well,
we had an impromptu draft.
Friendly bet at the New York Times Company. We don't gamble on sports. But we
we only put like $100 on it. Between friends. We did a draft. If we could predict who were the leading passer, leading rusher, leading receiver, leading tackler and we bounced back and forth. I had Minshew for passer. You had Sinet. They tied, so a point for each of us. I had Kennedy Brooks as the rusher. You had Jason Huntley, and you win. Jason Huntley, 16 carries for 48 yards. Nice job by you. Leading receiver, we got 2, and you took Britton Covey and Deion Kane. Britton Covey, according to, I believe, Ed Kratz, strained ligaments in his hand on a pass from Reed Sinet, and he's going to miss some time. So that is significant for Covey in his roster push. And I took Noah Tongiai and Jalen Rager. Unfortunately, Jason Huntley was the leading receiver, so no points there. And then,
do I get him because I had him in rushing? Do I?
No.
Okay.
Of course not. And then tackler, you took Nakobe Dean. I took Christian Ellis, so neither of us get it. That means you win. The year of Zach continues. However, do you know who did lead the team in tackles?
Josh Jobe.
Incorrect.
Sean Bradley.
No.
Jacoby Stevens.
The Eagles' leading tackler with 7 tackles, a man who was a house of fire on the field and has GMs across the league texting Howie Roseman, can I give you a mid-round pick for this dynamic young athlete? That would be Reed Blankenship.
Ah, okay. Your guy. Your crush.
That's right.
You know how to pick him, huh?
I sure do.
So, actually, there was a great moment before the game. Bo has never been so attuned into a coin toss before because Elijah Riley, the captain for the New York Jets tonight, along with Will Parks, Philly Will Parks, and
Nasty Nate Herbig.
Now, Vinny
You think
Curry.
Will Parks deserved that? Like he had some decorated Eagles career? I guess he's from Philly.
Oh, and I don't think he liked the way his career ended here.
Yeah,
right?
so like why does he get the captain pop?
Well, probably because it's like a revenge game for him, right? Vinny Curry, it's not really a revenge game. Vinny Curry is
I guess it's a revenge game for Herbig. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not Riley though.
Why?
I mean, they kept him around.
Not long enough.
Okay. Well.
And then also Ross Piersbacher. He was not a captain.
Yes. Also, he exists. That's true.
Yeah. Actually, Bo asked me today, do you know who that is who's talking with Nate Herbig? And I said, it's probably Ross Piersbacher.
No. It took you a long time to realize it was him also. You did not you weren't like snap to it. That's Ross Piersbacher.
Well, I didn't know where you wanted me to look. And then I saw, and I said, oh, that's Ross.
No, you didn't. You did not.
That's Ross.
No, you didn't.
You just have to pay more attention to backup offensive linemen.
It's 12:30 in the morning. Do you remember your very first post-game pod? I remember that.
Yes, I do.
That was really your introduction to Birds with Friends.
I was
your
so loopy.
Yeah.
And then I remember in this room probably the first time I did a Roman read. And
yeah, that was fun.
I was so immature. Right now, I knock out those Roman reads, and back then it was.
Yeah, but you don't want to knock them out too early. That's what Roman swipes are for.
Yes.
So that you can take your time and enjoy the read.
So, we have to get to the read.
Oh, we do have to get to the read. Okay, let's get to a read. We'll be back. Not a Reed Blankenship or a Reed Sinet, but an ad read.
Look, we all know that change doesn't happen without action. Whether you're looking for gains at the gym or a better experience in the bedroom, there's never any shame in showing up for yourself and your health. So if you're dealing with PE, don't ignore the issue. Instead, face it head on with Roman. Roman swipes are clinically proven to help you last longer in bed. There's no prescription needed, and PE treatments are safe, effective, and used by millions of men. And you don't want to wait weeks for this. There's free 2-day shipping. Go to getroman.com/BWF today. If approved, you'll get $10 off your first order. That's getroman.com/BWF. Working out is so important, but sometimes it seems hard to keep it fresh. Well, here's the answer. Peloton. Peloton has thousands of on-demand and live classes ranging from cycling and strength training to yoga and running. This is your opportunity to experiment with new types of movement in a totally non-judgmental space at a level and a pace that feels good for you. You have to ask, if it's not fun, why do it? You're more likely to stick to a fitness routine if it's something you enjoy, which is why Peloton instructors make every workout feel like you're hanging out with your friends. And because nothing gets you moving like the perfect song, every Peloton class is set to a playlist that will make you move. You can take a full ride with EDM. You can take a yoga class, set the soul music. Whatever you're into, you'll find the perfect soundtrack for your workout on Peloton. And the other thing, it seamlessly fits into your life. You can come back from work or come back from practice and listen to something or watch something that had been taped earlier. With thousands of classes live and on demand, you can find a workout that fits into your day. Maybe you're looking for a 10-minute upper body stretch between calls. Maybe there's a 30-minute run you want to take before bed. Peloton works with your schedule wherever you happen to be, at home, at the gym, or even outdoors. Motivation that moves you anytime, anywhere. Try the Peloton bike or tread risk-free for 30 days. Learn more at onepeloton.com. New members only. Terms apply.
All right, back on Birds with Friends, Bo and Zach at 12:31 in the morning. Zach, I wanted to ask you about something that was on your radar pregame, and when the Eagles came running out of the tunnel on the sideline, you had your binoculars out, you were scouring the sideline. There was something that you were paying very close attention to, and then you announced loudly and proudly to the press box, "Sirianni is wearing pants."
Bo, can you please offer context? Can you please offer
I don't know. What's the context? Why were you so concerned about whether he was wearing pants?
So, Sirianni was wearing...
He's wearing pants! He's wearing pants!
So, Sirianni was wearing shorts up until up until 20 minutes before the game, right? And all the, so it's not atypical for, coaches and players to wear shorts hour or 2 hours before the game, right? But then they change into their game gear, and coaches and players. So this was the period of warmups where all the coaches were dressed, all the players were dressed, and Sirianni had the shirt that he wore in the game and shorts. And I was thinking maybe he's coaching the game in shorts. You don't often see that. There was a college coach last year who did it, right? Was it?
I promise you I'm not going to know the answer.
Was it Harbaugh?
I don't know.
I know. In our chat, who was the college coach?
This is why you're a good reporter.
There was a college coach who did it. So anyways,
you're an award-winning reporter.
I was curious to see.
You notice everything.
And not just that, but there was, look, I'm not on the field, but I have binoculars and I try to pay attention to as much as I can before the game to try to get color. You're the eyes and the ears of or in this case, the eyes. I can't be the ears of the fans and that. And the referee said something to Sirianni, like pointed to the shorts. So I don't know if he asked if he was going to change. And I was curious if he was going to coach the game in shorts. It wasn't going to be like.
It was very on your radar. It wasn't just an aside that you were like, oh, I wonder if he's going to put on shorts. You were asking me, do you think he's going to be wearing pants? And the first thing you looked at when they came onto the field was, he's wearing pants. He's wearing pants.
So the truth said, got to be a Pac-12 guy. The truth is right. You know who it was? Chip Kelly.
Of course.
Yeah.
That brings it all together. That's why it was on your radar.
Chip Kelly
That's why
last
you were
year,
paying attention to
it was a game.
You were getting reminded of your boy.
It was like a well-known thing. It was a big story that he wore shorts in a game against, I don't know. There was like columns on it. Back.
Zach's not checking out his phone. He's pulled up an incognito tab to look for Chip Kelly's shorts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, no, wait, take that back. There's no incognito tag. But you seem to know a lot about incognito tags. Tabs.
I know that they exist. So do you.
So I would say that it was not on my radar. It wasn't on your radar.
It was like your singular focus for a period of time.
It wasn't my singular focus. I thought I don't need to defend myself here. So
you don't need to defend anything.
Yes. All right. Next topic.
Marissa, what's your take on Pantsgate? Oh, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I am just absolutely loving the 2-box. We have to do this for
What's
every
she saying? I
post
can't
game.
She
hear.
says she loves the 2-box.
We have to do this for every post game pod.
Every post game pod.
Zach
Okay.
can't laugh off screen though. We need to work on like getting the laughter in on
She
screen.
doesn't want you to
his-
laugh off screen. She wants you to laugh to stay in the shot when you're laughing.
Yes.
That's why she's
Yeah.
the producer of the year.
Yeah, but I'm loving it. You guys are crushing it. Really happy that Nick changed into pants.
She's
So,
really happy that Nick changed into pants.
I really said that, Zach.
And she doesn't like your Jordan Davis story.
That's not true.
I
Love
really
it.
wish you didn't make such a big deal about this pants thing. It wasn't that big a deal. And I don't want it to become like a running joke on the pod.
Well, I mean, you can't
It's
say
just kind of like the Aaron Robinson thing. It's gonna be like, Nick, he's at wearing pants.
you can't say you don't want it to be a running joke because now I have no choice now but to make it a running thing.
We have a question in the
can't
chat.
do
Were
that.
they
Next
a
topic.
relaxed fit?
Next up.
Marissa says there's a question: were they relaxed fit pants? What kind of pants were they? They were like athleisure pants, right? Like
The shorts or the
no, the pants.
all the people watching our pod right now, I imagine to watch the game. You probably saw Nick on the sideline. I don't need
Not
to
everybody gets that's not true. Not everybody gets to watch
Okay.
if they're not local, they don't get to watch the game.
I don't need to describe Nick's pants. I think that's
They
a
were
bridge,
black pants.
That's a bridge too far.
Yeah, they were like black athletic pants.
Okay. There you go.
All right. Okay. What else jumped out to you from this game? What are your other notes? Marissa, do we have a second ad break just so we know?
Yes, Bo. I told you
Okay.
this before we started.
Okay.
So
Tell Zach that. He'll
She
appreciate
hears-
that.
She says yes. She told me that before we started. She wants you to know that she's given me.
you're the conductor here, man. You gotta.
See?
She just wants you to know that she's giving it to me too.
Okay.
I don't know. Zach has
Um,
kind of like
so
stepped into the
I would
host chair
say,
here, so maybe it actually
Okay,
falls
Matter
on
jumped
Zach.
out. Look, I like
She
what
says you're the host. So
I like what I've seen from Jack Stoll.
wow, I did not expect that to be your one of your top takeaways.
Well, it's not a top takeaway. We're 42 minutes in here. We literally
Okay,
just did a
okay,
segment on shorts
You
and
like
pants.
what you've seen from Jack Stoll. He had like one catch for 4 yards.
Okay, there's more to football than
I'm
just
sorry.
catching.
Apologies. One catch for 6 yards.
Okay, I like what I've seen from Jack Stoll.
Okay.
Why don't you give me your
Odd.
takes because my takes aren't good enough for you. Zach Pascal got open in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he looked good.
Okay,
32-yard catch
okay.
from Gardner Minshew. I thought Minshew looked a little bit better tonight than he's looked over the summer.
Had a chance to talk to Gardner after the game.
We talked about that,
discussed
the mustache ride. Yeah.
All right, next topic. Yes.
Yeah. No, I thought Minshew looked okay.
Mhm.
I mean, you would expect that he should look better in a game than in practice, but
Yeah.
I thought he looked okay.
Mhm.
Teron Jackson flashed, had a nice pass
he's
breakup and
flashed
got
this
into the
summer
backyard.
as we discussed. Let me ask you this. I'm curious because I was pondering it during the game. Do you think that the fourth down decisions tonight are
They were a little bit aggressive.
are an indication of Nick being more aggressive this year, or do you think it's preseason and he wants to evaluate his offense more than his kicking game?
I think I would lean more towards the latter, and my real answer is that it's the preseason. I don't think
Yeah.
it matters.
Okay, but
Yeah.
look, I mean, we were critical of Nick at times last year for.
Yeah. I don't
being
think
conservative.
it's an indication of like a change of heart for him.
Okay. I mean, do you think you're gonna laugh when I say this, but I mean this honestly. Like Jim Bob's not the one in his ear anymore. Do you think there's a different person in his ear being like,
That's
this
interesting.
is a green situation. This is a go for it.
Well, that's a question worth asking him if he's
I will.
treating the preseason
Yes.
like a game. My guess is not, but I am curious about like who's in his ear.
Mhm.
Do we know the answer to that? Have we asked him that?
We will find out.
Okay. Let's talk return game. Covey, we said got the injury, might miss some time. Huntley looked better as a kickoff returner. He had one nice kickoff return. Covey, his kickoff return actually I thought was not bad. His 25-yarder. He made a couple people miss. The punt return, not a lot of juice
No.
from Covey, I thought.
No.
But he caught it.
And in the passing game,
He
not
caught
a
it
lot of juice
without
either,
a problem.
I expected to see more, but look, there's the expression, right? You have to be a bright lights player. When the lights are on, it's different than in practice. And I didn't think he was as good tonight as we've seen him this summer.
I agree with
But
that.
also returning, you can't really ascertain returning during practice situations. It needs to be a live situation.
I agree. All right, let's take our second break and then come back and figure out what other body parts or articles of clothing we can discuss.
We have partnered with BetterHelp. How well would you take care of your car if you had to keep the same one your entire life? Well, that's how our brain works. So why don't we treat our brain that way? How we care for our minds affects how we experience life. It's important to invest time and care into keeping our minds healthy. There are plenty of ways to support a healthy brain, like learning a new language or taking power naps. There's also BetterHelp online therapy. We all have challenges and dilemmas that we're dealing with that are unique to our own lives. It can help to talk to somebody and to do so in a comfortable way. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat-only therapy sessions. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. You don't have to sit in a waiting room and wondering if there's anyone you know who's there. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy. You can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours, and our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/BWF. That's betterhelp.com/BWF. Every morning there's coffee brewing in our kitchen, but how do we know it's the right coffee for our family? Well, that's where Trade Coffee comes in. Trade Coffee connects customers to the freshest and best tasting coffee they've ever made at home by partnering with the country's best craft roasters. There's no one perfect coffee, but there is a perfect coffee for you, and Trade's human-powered algorithm will find it. Whether your friends call you a coffee snob or you just know it when the coffee tastes really perfect, Trade's real coffee experts personally taste test over 450 roasts, so they know exactly what to recommend for you. Because the truth is, what I like, what my wife likes, what you like, it could be totally different. You will like a selection of specific coffees that are different from anyone else's taste. Just answer a couple of questions and you'll get your personalized variety of coffees delivered fresh to you as often as you like. No gimmicks here. Trade delivers a bag of freshly roasted coffee as whole beans or ground for however you brew it at home. And they guarantee you'll love your first order or they'll replace it for free. Right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/BWF. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Get started by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/BWF and let Trade find you a coffee you'll love. That's drinktrade.com/BWF for $30 off.
All right, back on Birds with Friends, Bo and Zach and Marissa. And let's start to wrap things up here as it approaches 1 a.m. Brandon Graham back on the field after his Achilles injury. First play, first snap, makes the tackle. Got to be feeling good. Good to have Brandon Graham back in the mix.
I'd agree. Yeah, I thought he was on the field on Kaiser White's interception. He's been good all summer. It was good tonight.
He has.
By the way, next time we do the Vikings games, the next time we're here, and that's also a primetime game. So it'll be this hour.
That's not good.
We got to be more mindful of what's in the backdrop. These like
they look
iced
like
teas
from this angle
yeah.
on there, they look like jars of urine, but they are, I believe,
Okay.
Iced tea.
Okay, yeah, we should. You know what we should do next time? And now that I think about it, we should put the computer up there and have the field behind us. That would be.
And have like a downward angle.
Why not? Yeah, that'd be a great view.
Because you can't I don't know.
That'd be perfect. Why are we looking at the field when our viewers can look at the field?
Yeah, but that's not that's a kind of a weird angle. Plus,
that's a better angle.
Then you have to be, if I'm typing or something, I got to go like up like that.
You type between breaks. Yeah, throw the AirPods in.
Let's see what Marissa thinks.
Yeah. We need a more visually. This year, we got the drop ceiling. We got
like the pea jars.
We got lights. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Z Berman's looked is.
How do you feel?
Being looked down on.
How do you feel about Trent Cole, the Hunter, and Turbo Bird going into the Eagles Hall of Fame?
Both worthy. Trent Cole, second in franchise history in sacks. Hugh Douglas, fourth in franchise history in sacks. Both worthy of that honor. So, yeah, credit there to both of them.
Only a matter of time before Brent Selleck goes in, right?
Yeah, someone
On his way to Canton.
I forget who it was, but they sent us a thing on Twitter that the Patriots have given out 87 before the Eagles have, which
It's
is
insane.
It's stunning to think that if you were watching the Super Bowl that year, it's like the only one of these 87s is going to be like immortalized in their franchise.
I think it is odd that the Patriots that is actually odd to me.
The show must go on, right?
Yeah, but I mean, not in Philadelphia.
And
It's
I was
crazy
going
they
to
don't
say,
have
knowing
87.
Belichick, I don't know Belichick, but like they probably gave it out to like a quarterback. They always have, it's like a Patriots thing where they don't give you your numbers until the preseason starts.
Mm.
So you see like Danny Etling one time, the quarterback wore 47 or something of that nature.
Okay.
So this week, the Eagles, they'll be back at practice Sunday, walk through Monday, practice Tuesday. Then they head to Cleveland and we head to Cleveland. The highlight of that is we get to see Marissa. But in addition to seeing Marissa, we get to see competitive football practices, right? I mean, I think we can both agree the practices last year against the Patriots, the practices last year against the Jets were not just fun to cover, but also gave us a better idea of the team than preseason games do, right? Like I'll admit, and I was skeptical of the Eagles last year. This time, I felt better about them after those Jets practices. I thought the Jets were bad, but also I was wrong too because I thought the defensive line was going to be really good. And there are people in the building who have tried telling me that I'm a little too hard on like the defense last year, that there are metrics that suggest their pass rush is better than me continuing to point out that they were second to last in the league in sacks. And I get
high
that.
in pass rush win rate, but I think that is misleading. We've had this conversation. We talked about it with Shio throughout the season. The way that they were designed on defense, opposing offenses knew that they could get the ball out quickly. It's like the win rate, like getting to beating the offensive lineman with that time didn't matter if they were getting the ball out quickly. Like the stats are fine to say that they were second to worst, the second worst pass rush team in the league. Maybe they were a little bit better than that, but they were much closer to that than they were to the where they ranked in win rate.
So let me ask you this, because now we are going to have post practice pods this week, but big picture, when we talk next Sunday during the Eagles-Browns game, what do you want to know about this team that you don't know now?
After the joint practices,
After
not the preseason game itself. That's a good question. I don't really know that there is an answer. I mean, the most important thing is still that they just don't get injured. But in terms of like what I want to see against the Browns, I don't know. I mean, I would like to see if the Jalen Hurts like AJ Brown connection travels as well.
Okay.
Against Cleveland as it has here. Now, I mean, Denzel Ward is a good player. It's not like Slay and your boy are slouches, but I think that will be interesting.
I want to see Myles Garrett against Mailata or
that's a good one.
Or against
that's a good one.
he'll go against Lane Johnson, right? He's on that side.
Yeah,
he's
maybe does a little bit of both. I think that's a good one. And I want to see if like this vaunted defensive tackle rotation, these four guys they've got, if they can do anything against the best interior offensive lineman in the game.
Oh, Michael Dunn, yes. And now look, I don't know how much Deshaun Watson's going to practice against the Eagles. I imagine quite a bit. He started, and I didn't see the game tonight. Marissa did, and we'll keep Marissa out of this. But I saw the stat line wasn't great for Deshaun Watson, but Deshaun Watson's a better or a more accomplished passing quarterback than And by the way, I didn't mean to be rude when I said we'll keep Marissa out of it. I just meant I wouldn't put Marissa on the spot and talking about the Browns. That's what I meant.
Right.
Not that I don't value her
She
opinion.
understands.
Okay. But our listeners might, and I want our
She
listeners
says
to know that.
Kevin Stefanski did wear pants.
Okay. But Deshaun Watson, I want to see him passing the ball against this defense, right? Because that could give you a decent gauge about where they are.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I mean, certainly Deshaun Watson's better than any quarterback they're going to see in the first month of the year.
Maybe.
I mean,
he was bad tonight, right?
Yes, and it's the first time he played in a year.
Okay.
But
I don't really want to gas him up too much. That's really.
I'm simply saying, like, he's like we said, they have Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins.
I think you can make a case.
Carson Wentz
is not definitely worse than
Deshaun Watson.
Right now, like who knows what Deshaun Watson's going to be like?
Fair.
Hasn't played.
Fair. Okay. But Myles Garrett, who I think is the best pass rusher in the league.
Ooh, shots fired at TJ Watt.
Okay. Yeah, I mean TJ Watt's really good.
TJ Watt's led the league in sacks each of the last 2 years. I mean,
I'll take Myles Garrett.
You don't like a white guy, maybe, but it doesn't stop me.
Anyways, looking forward to seeing.
And what
this
about
week.
Josh Sweat?
He's not at Myles Garrett's level.
Well, you think you know somebody.
I mean, I don't think that's a bold take. The truth agrees with me.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Proof is in the pudding.
Here you go. All right. We got so tomorrow's the day to reset. Back on the practice field Sunday. And are we doing a pod Sunday? Probably not. Audio only?
I don't know.
Maybe. Okay.
Maybe.
Your
We'll
call.
see. Sunday. Let's see what Marissa thinks. We've got 2 more practices before the joint practices.
Yep.
So Sunday and Tuesday.
Yep.
We can figure that out.
And we'll do a Tuesday pod.
We sure will.
And then we will do a Thursday pod. We won't do a Friday pod.
Right. We got a
We have
flight to catch.
We have a flight to catch. But then
do some kind of live watch along for
I'm looking forward to that. And if you're in this chat at 12:52, or there's people from different time zones, so I don't know what it is where you're watching. But
I mean, get a life.
Yeah, but I imagine this is something new, right? And to be honest, we've never been able to do this because we're either at the game. We could have done this in 2020, but a regular season game you're monitoring differently than a preseason game, right? So I think this will be a dynamic way. It's like our draft viewing. You can watch the game with us.
And I think what's fun about it is because we'll be watching from our own homes, what will be good and will sort of create a little bit of drama is that it's pants optional.
I will wear pants. I promise you that.
Okay, well, we'll see. All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for the first post-game pod of the year. The Eagles, an embarrassing loss to the New York Jets, 24-21 at Lincoln Financial Field, but a promising performance from the starters and the high-drafted rookies. And that we know of, no important players got hurt. So they check really the 3 boxes that you wanted to see them check. And that's good. So for Zach and Elijah, who did commit a penalty tonight, and Marissa and Cleo, is that his name? Jackson? Connor Jackson? Corey Jackson and Ross as well. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you either Sunday or Tuesday. And as always,